Today we are going to study the economic systems. Yesterday we were talking about allocative mechanisms and basic economic questions. What are those questions? What to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. These are the questions which every economy has to answer in order to allocate resources in such a way that maximum of unlimited human wants should be satisfied within limited resources. Clear? So this is about what? How economic systems they are allocating resources to satisfy the human wants. In other words, you can say how they are trying to overcome the basic economic problem of scarcity, which cannot be finished, but they will try to overcome this basic economic problem of scarcity by answering those questions. So there are three types of economic systems which we are going to study in this AS level syllabus. So first of all, we are going to study free market economic system. Free market economic system is that in which basic economic questions are answered by the market forces of demand and supply without any government intervention. What is this? This is a procedure, a system in which economic agents of consumers and producers, they will decide in the market what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. All the things, all the resource allocation will take place by using the market forces of demand and supply. Alright? So this is what we say the basic economic question, which is an economic system which answers the basic economic questions, the basic economic questions by the market forces of demand and supply, by the market forces of demand and supply without any government intervention, without any government intervention. So we have the allocation of resources by the private consumers and private producers. They are actually going to tell in which way land, labor, capital will be allocated according to the consumer needs and wants. What consumers are willing and able to buy, those goods and services will be supplied by the producers. If consumers are not demanding something, producers will not supply them. Clear or not? So we find this thing that the resources they are allocated in such a way that human needs and wants are satisfied by the market forces of demand and supply. No other government intervention is required. Now, how this system, economic system will work? How this economic system will work? Invisible hand theory. What do you mean by invisible hand theory? In the free market economy, we said consumers and producers, they are going to decide what point for whom to produce. In other words, in this system, the consumers, they are maximizing their private welfare, whereas producer is also maximizing the private welfare. So when everyone in the society is having this maximizing behavior, this is basically the invisible force or invisible hand which is motivating both consumers and producers to run efficiently in the market to achieve their subjective goals. What is the goal of consumer? To get those goods which are going to satisfy him, and producer goal is to maximize profit. This is invisible. Right now you are having invisible motivation that you want to get the best quality education within low fee structure, you can say. This is the motivation. And what is the motivation of this institution? They should have more and better quality students as well, which will not only bring us profit to the institution but also an excellent result which will increase its goodwill in the society. So these are actually invisible things which cannot be seen. But both consumers and producers, they are motivated by these invisible things by which the whole system is working efficiently and effectively. Alright? So what people are willing to have more and more, this is their private ownership. What do you mean by this thing? What do you mean by this thing, private ownership? Everyone wants to increase his private welfare by owning more private properties, more private businesses, more private things with them. Clear? So this is again the motivational force that works invisibly. Now everyone wants to have more and more private ownership of resources, properties, businesses. This will motivate the producers and consumers to increase their private welfare. Alright? So this system is having private ownership which works as motivational force for the whole system to allocate resources in such a way that the private ownership of consumers and producers should also be growing with the passage of time. If you have one business, you should have more in the future, in the upcoming years. If a consumer is having less number of goods today, he or she should have more goods and services owned by him in the future. So this is the private ownership which is actually motivating the consumers and producers to work with invisible hand. This is actually main aim is that everyone wants to increase the material welfare. But this is the main key, how to show the material welfare by the private ownership. Clear? Now the third thing you see, the motivational force. Basically, how can a producer be motivated to increase his private ownership? This can be done by the objective of profit maximization. So that will motivate him if the firm or business is able to have more and more profit, then that business can increase its private ownership. So producers are motivated by maximum profit, to maximize the profit, and the consumers, they are motivated by maximizing their satisfaction or utility. So both are having the motivational forces according to their objectives. Okay? Now the fourth factor, which is also the part of free market economies, that is what? This is the role of government. What will be the role of government in this free market economy? What is the role of government? Government is having no economic role. The private producers and consumers are allowed to allocate resources. Government is not going to interfere or intervene in the economic activities. Government is having the legislative role. It is going to legislate for the whole country, but it is not having any economic role to provide the goods and services or ask the producers to increase the production of one thing which is beneficial or decrease the production of those goods which are harmful. Clear? So we see this thing, the role of government, there is no role. Okay? So if an economy is having no role of government, we say it is laissez-faire economy. What type of economy it is? Laissez-faire economy. This is a French, these two are the French words. Its meaning is that this is without any government intervention. This system is run by the market forces only, not by the government. Clear? Now, what type of government is required to have this system? We say type of government is democracy. What do you mean by democracy? The government of the people, by the people, for the people. Now, this type of government will make those attractive investment environment, business friendly environment, which will increase the motivation to the producers in order to have more economic activities. So it is only having conducive environment for the private sector to grow. Basically, the main role of government is to have more motivation for the consumers and producers to have more and more economic development and economic welfare. Now, what are the outcomes of this system? What are the outcomes? Can you tell me? The first outcome is consumer sovereignty. What it is? What do you mean by consumer sovereignty? What is meaning of consumer sovereignty? Sovereign means the king. The whole system revolves around this. If consumer is satisfied by the product supplied by the producers, definitely he or she will be buying it again and again. Okay? When consumers are demanding and consuming the goods because of increase in their income level or monetary level of earnings, what happens? More labor will also be demanded and the whole economic system will have more material value. So if consumer is having less income, if he is demotivated to buy the goods due to bad quality, so do you think producers will be able to maximize their profit? And to visit any of the multinational fast food chain, KFC or Pizza Hut, what are they doing? They are serving consumer in a better way that this person should come again and again, that we will be able to maximize our motive of profit. Clear? So if consumer is satisfied, definitely the whole system will be run accordingly. And if consumer is having unsatisfactory conditions, the whole system cannot work efficiently. Clear? So consumer is the key. The whole economic activity of producers that revolves around consumer satisfaction. That is why we say he is the king of whole system. Second thing, it promotes competition and efficiency in the market. What do you mean by competition? When there are no barriers to enter in the market, what is going to happen? More producers will enter and they will have more production of the same good which is already in competition. For example, there is no barrier to enter for the production of cars, computers, any consumer item. More sellers are entering, more producers are entering. As a result, the quality of product will also improve. More qualitative products will be produced and with lower prices. Everyone will try to sell the product at less price in a better quality. Clear? So this will promote competition. Sorry, this is what? Competition in the market. And efficiency means what? Absence of wastage. The producer will try to reduce its level of wastage of resources that will make him to earn more profit. If producers, they are efficient in their production techniques. If cost of production, per unit cost of production is decreased, so definitely producers will be able to maximize their profitability. Clear? So there is a carrot and stick rule. What it is? Carrot and stick rule. Carrot denotes market reward to those producers whose products are market winners. Like if consumers are better satisfied by the certain products, they are buying it again and again. So those products are called the market winners, and they are also called the market leaders. So the producers of those products will be rewarded with maximum of profit. Clear? And they will have further incentives to produce more goods and in a better quality because they are earning more and more profit. Okay? What do you mean by stick? Stick denotes punishment. Those who are unable to compete in the market, they are inefficient, they are making the wastage of resources, they will be punished by the market to be out of competition and their products will vanish from the market. What happens? Their products will vanish from the market. So we say we have carrot and stick rule in the market. This is the market which is actually benefiting the people, producers, consumers, and it is also punishing on the way when they are unable to survive in the market scenario. Okay? This is now another thing which is going to take place. I said qualities include, we have product innovations. What do you mean by innovation? New and new products are invented by research and development department of the larger firms. They will invent new and new products in order to cover more market share. If any firm, for example, Apple phone manufacturers, if they produce a new product ahead of their rivals, so that firm which is producing the new products before their rivals produce or competitors produce, they will get more market share and as a result they will have more and more profit. So product innovation means it gives incentives to the producers to innovate new products which will better satisfy the consumer wants. The following things. Now, another thing which will happen is process innovation. Process innovation means what? A new method of production will be invented, will be adopted by the producers in order to reduce their per unit cost, because they try to reduce their per unit cost. So when their cost of production is lower than their rival firms, they will be better able to maximize their profit. Alright? So these are actually, they are improving the quality of the product and they are producing more of what types of goods are more produced? Private goods. They are more produced, and private goods are those which are excludable and rivalry. We cannot get them until unless we make a price payment to the seller. Clear? So they are excludable, they are rivalry. So these types of goods are more supplied by the producers in the case of free market economic system. producing less necessities. What it is? Less necessities and merit goods are produced. Merit goods will become there. Less necessities, as everyone, when his income or her income level increases, people spend more proportion of income on luxuries rather than on necessities. So what happens? The producers, they are more motivated to supply those goods which are going to beautify the life of people. So these necessities, due to less production, they will also become expensive. And merit goods like education and health, they are under-provided. Less of resources are allocated in the production of education and health. Everyone is not provided health and education by the market forces of demand and supply. So in this way, in the provision of merit goods, this system will become inefficient. Resource allocation is becoming inefficient because it is not according to the social desirable level of the society. And the seventh one, no public goods are produced. No public goods are produced. You know what we mean by public goods? They are non-excludable, non-rivalry, and there is a free rider problem. Like defense, roads, street lighting. When everyone wants to enjoy the benefits but nobody is willing to pay for that, so the private sector will not supply these public goods in the market. Again, we find economic inefficiency in the provision of these public goods. Merit goods are under-provided, but public goods are zero provided in this economic system because of lack of motivation of profit. Its market does not exist in free market. Okay. What else are there? More of demerit goods are produced. More demerit goods are produced. Okay? Like wine, cigarette. As government is not going to intervene in the economic activities, it does not stop the production of demerits because producers, they think that if they are producing more wine, more cigarettes, more casinos, they will be able to have more profitability, more profit in these items. So more of the resources, or we say there is over allocation, they are less desirable as they are produced. More demerit goods, they are supplied by the places. Okay? And the last one, externalities, it is also the larger firms, they are taking over the smaller firms, then a single seller or few sellers are actually controlling the whole market, in which the consumer welfare will be decreased. All the things will be controlled by the large scale producers, or we can say the multinationals, the larger scale firms. And the another one, we say unfair distribution of income. Distribution of income. That means what? That means the gap between rich and poor will increase. Rich is becoming further rich due to this economic system. More wealth will be concentrated in few hands, and the gap between the top 10% of rich people and the lower 10% of poor people is widening. So we say we have unequal or unfair distribution of income. So if there is a question, discuss whether free market system always produces the desirable outcomes. We can write to some extent these are the benefits of the system after explaining the system, and then we write the drawbacks, and at the end we can conclude it is not always having the desirable outcome, it has undesirable things within it. Clear? So this is more in detail your free market economic system. Tomorrow we will be doing the planned economic system, and I will try the mixed economic as well.